I'm David Duncan. I'm from Amazon Web Services. I'm a Partner Solutions Architect. And I'm here with my longtime friend, Mayur Shetty, who is a Partner Solutions Architect at Red Hat.
Thanks, David.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be invited here and working with you again.
Yeah, I am so excited about it. So I wanted to start off with just talking about Red Hat Enterprise Linux. What is Red Hat Enterprise Linux?
So Red Hat Enterprise Linux is hybrid enterprise Linux. So what I mean by this is it is a highly scalable, secure, and an operating system that gives you the performance to run your production workloads. And also, what you get along with Red Hat Enterprise Linux is a feature called Red Hat Insights. And this is production management tool. So what it does is it runs on your system, it collects all the information, and it makes you aware of any security flaws, of any vulnerabilities running on your system, or anything that can disrupt your production workload. So it will give you an insights into that, and it will also tell you how to remediate it.
Yeah, and this is something that I've really enjoyed working with over the years with Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and something that in fact has been extended with support for all sorts of variations of Red Hat Enterprise Linux on top of AWS. One of the things that excites me about that is that those insights extend into the platform.
Absolutely. And again, when I say hybrid, right? Like customers ask us, so why is Red Hat Enterprise Linux hybrid? That's because what you get on premises, that's on your bare metal or on your virtualized platform, be it Red Hat virtualization or any other virtualization platform for that matter, or on the edge servers or on AWS, it's the exact same Linux is what you get. So that's why it's truly hybrid.
You know, we have a lot of customers on Amazon, not just on Amazon, but customers who are talking about what they're going to do their to migrate to AWS, but they're looking at migrating CentOS onto AWS, and specifically CentOS 7. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so with regards to CentOS 7, CentOS 7 is going to be EOL on June 30th of 2024. So what that means is come June 30th, 2024, CentOS 7 users are not going to be getting any updates. They're not going to be getting any upgrades, no new packages. If there's any security vulnerability, they're not going to get any patches for that. So all that makes their production workloads insecure. And so for those reasons, what we are hearing is customers who are running on CentOS are looking to migrate onto RHEL.
It's a logical choice, right? I think everybody who's running on CentOS knows that that they're running with the same bits that they would be running with Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and this is the supported solution for them.
Absolutely. And this is not just because of the fact that they can get the same CentOS on premises, on the edge, as well as on the cloud. They're looking to an option which is truly hybrid. So, Dave, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So, I've talked to customers who have CentOS instances running on premises. And I'm going to write on-prem here so that. And these customers are looking to not just change from CentOS 7 to RHEL 7, but they also want to move from on-premise to AWS. So meaning, use a different color. So they want to go up to AWS, to the cloud, create a new EC2 instance, and this is going to be their CentOS 7. I'm going to remind them that it's going to be EOL on June of 2024. So are there any tools that AWS can provide for these customers to move from on-premises to AWS?
Well, okay. So this is a super fun model for me, a cloud adoption kind of model. And I've seen this in a lot of different cases. One of my favorites was working on large-scale data center migrations for big companies. With those scenarios, we always look at migrating what is running on premises onto AWS. So we don't just start making transitions or updating the infrastructure immediately. We look at what is least complex to most complex, and then we start to determine how it is that we can make those migrations. And we have some really fun tools for that. For just a specific import-export, we can take a virtual machine that's running on premises, and we can use our basic import-export tools that we have on Amazon EC2 and just bring up that image as they have it to a snapshot. And that's an easy way to get exactly what you're running on premises onto AWS. But then there are other tools like our migration tools, the MGN, that we can use to migrate entire servers. So where we have a customer who has a server that's running a bare metal server, say running CentOS 7, we can work with them to install an agent. That agent can then synchronize the systems on EC2. And when the customer is ready, they can cut over to the instances that are in EC2. And once we get them over, we can start there. So let's say, let me just bring this up. So let's say we have a server here on premises, and we want this server on EC2. We can bring that up as, let's say, I'll just bring it up this way. Just bring it up as an image. So just a disk image, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that disk image, then we can turn into an instance on top of AWS. Once we have an instance, and I'll make this a little bit more obvious over here. Once we have an instance that's running, so we can run it as big as we think we really need, and then we can make a snapshot. So we have a snapshot of this image, this instance, and that snapshot can be the foundation for all the transitions we make. Once we get that transition, or once we're ready, we can make the conversion. If we convert this system, we can convert that to Red Hat, right? And once it's running Red Hat, this is our successful state,
Mm-hmm.
and this is our instance that was running CentOS. So we can do all of this conversion, and if anything goes wrong in that conversion process, we have this snapshot that we can revert to and bring it back to this same steady state. Now, combine all of that process with the migration hub, and we can do that. We can scale this configuration to thousands of servers at a time.
Absolutely. So what we talked about is taking a CentOS server, be it bare metal or on a virtualized platform, taking that onto AWS. Now we have CentOS running on AWS. But the problem that the customer had, which is he solved the first problem of moving from a data center. Now they have an infrastructure that can scale and in different regions.
Exactly.
But the problem of having unsupported CentOS come June of 2024 is still there. So what we have for that is if you go to the AWS Marketplace. So I'll just draw the AWS Marketplace right here. And this is the AWS Marketplace. And the customer can purchase a subscription. And that goes by Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 for third-party migration. And once they purchase the subscription, what they do is they do an in-place upgrade of their EC2 instance. So it's going to be an in-place upgrade using a tool which the subscription provides you. And that tool is called the Convert to RHEL. And this is a fully supported tool, meaning if you have any issues during your conversion, or if you need some guidelines or guardrails you could pick up the phone, call Red Hat support, and we will guide you and walk you through the process. When you are running this tool, before you do that, there's one other thing which you need to do is connect the accounts. You need to have a Red Hat account, which is your Red Hat hybrid cloud account. So this is for the activation key. And this activation key is what you're going to be passing to the convert to RHEL tool. This whole process will take like how a normal minor upgrade takes in Linux. It also depends on the number of vCPUs you have. It depends on the configuration of the EC2 instance type that you're using. The key point out here is when you do your in-place conversion, the configurations that you had done for your application, which was running on CentOS 7, all still hold good, meaning you don't need to reconfigure anything. Everything's in place. Once the update is done, you go back to your system, you reboot it, you come back to a completely fully supported CentOS to RHEL conversion, which is now you have a RHEL 7 system which is supported. You got extended lifecycle support, which comes along with this.
And that's 4 years.
That's 4 years. So you can run your workload, which you're running on CentOS 7, for the next 4 years, fully supported, meaning any issues, you can call Red Hat support, you can get complete support. This is a good way to run this, convert a CentOS 7 in place to RHEL 7. Now, we've talked about customers, like I know Red Hat and AWS have been working together, and AWS is all about scale, right?
Definitely, and I could hear that, right? We talked a little bit about using our tools for scale, but now we're looking at running the convert to RHEL.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when we talk to customers, we're not talking to customers with single CentOS instances, CentOS 7 instances, and we're looking to migrate. We're talking about customers who are running on AWS with hundreds and thousands of CentOS 7 instances that they want to kind of convert. For those customers who have fleets of we have a solution for them too. So for those customers, the first option is to use Ansible. Ansible is
configuration management tools, yeah, for servers for all kinds of servers.
Right,
yeah.
And they could do that by themselves, or they could use the Red Hat technical account managers who are very technical to help them through the process of converting their fleet. And the other option for those customers who have pretty complex workloads running would be to leverage the Red Hat consulting organization. So like I said, they have two options. Customers running on AWS are not looking at single instances. They have hundreds and thousands. Ansible playbooks, along with help from their local TAMs, would be a good option. They could do it by themselves, or they could leverage the Red Hat consulting organizations to convert thousands of instances from CentOS to RHEL.
Right, and this is getting them on that path, right? So as you make the decisions about how you're going to take care of this, you can look at the size of the requirements, and then make a decision on how you want to approach this, big or small.
Absolutely.
Well, this is great, Mayur. I think this has been a very interesting exploration into the world of transit or migrating an entire fleet of instances to AWS and converting to Red Hat for a fully supported configuration with security and stability all built into that, and using Red Hat Insights, we can maintain that for another 4 years.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.